And now we have a special bond, Boo. We both had our teeth taken out on the same day, right? Me and you. On the same day. Boo's like my spirit animal. Right, Boo?
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 9 a.m. and today is going to be a gray and rainy day. Here's Splash and here's Simba. Let me tell you what they did this morning. So since the cats are not getting crunchies anymore, they're much more active early in the morning. Like probably starting around 4 a.m. I start hearing Splash and Simba moving around. This morning, I don't know, maybe around 5 a.m. I heard growling and I was like, who's growling at who? None of the kittens are up here. Why would anyone be growling? So then I looked at the security camera footage and I was like, well, it looked like Simba and Splash were playing. And I didn't think anything of it. So then I just got up a little while ago. I wanted to sleep in a little bit, but the cats are, they're anxious for breakfast. And Simba does this thing where if I try to sleep in, he vomits like white foam. I'm starting to think he makes himself do that to get me out of bed, because he has nothing in his stomach and he's like, okay, I'm just going to vomit this. So she's going to get up and clean it up, because that's always what I do. If he vomits, then I have to get up and clean it up. So I am definitely starting to think he's doing it intentionally. Anyway, so I just get up and I'm starting to get ready to give them some food. And I walked into the room to open up the curtains. And let me show you what I just found. See this? This is the pom-pom toy that I put on the wand so the cats could play with it. And look what Simba did. He chewed through the string. So I'm really not happy about that, but at least it's a string. I'm thinking I need to go to like a craft store and buy similar string. That way I could just restring it myself. But I'm really not happy that Simba's doing this. I mean, why can't he just play nicely with these? But I think this is what he was growling at. I think he was growling at this pom-pom and he was upset that it was on the string, so he bit through the string. We have to remember that Simba does have a history of growling at pom-pom, so I really think that's what it is. And right now he's staring at it like he hates it. So I gave the kittens some food last night. They did not finish all of it, which is surprising because they normally do. Maybe they were stressed out from all of the activity yesterday. So yesterday morning they witnessed Boo leaving in a carrier. They were kind of like, what is going on with that? And then they witnessed him coming home in the carrier. And then of course, Grandma and Grandpa coming over, and just a lot of activity yesterday. And there's some changes down here too. Oh, look at this. They lost both of the balls from the turbo scratchers. So this is what the cats got yesterday. A brand new cat tower. It's the same exact cat tower that they had here. It's just a different color. So this one is all like beige. They had this one, then they also had one that had like brown accents, and I got the beige one just because it seemed like all of the cat fur on the last one, it was all like light colored cat fur. That's what I was constantly vacuuming off of it. So I'm thinking maybe this will help hide the cat hair better. Of course, Sammy has black hair, but the other cats are more of like a sandy color or brown. So it is a beautiful brand new cat tower. Grandpa put it together. He also took apart the old one, so that was a very, very big help. And this cat tower has a toy that hangs on it, and I don't know, I give that toy a few days. There's Sammy. You okay, Sammy? And another thing that happened yesterday was we took the slip cover off of this couch and put it in through the laundry and then put it back on the couch. And it was so nice to see my leather sofa again. It was so nice to see it, even with all of the pinholes in the arms from when Simba destroyed it. But I put the cover back on. The reason why I have this cover specifically is because it's like a thick canvas and it's harder for them to get their claws through it and into the leather underneath. Otherwise, I would just like to keep this as a leather couch because it's so comfortable. This is like the most comfortable couch. One of the reasons why I wanted to get the cat beds off of this couch is so I could actually use it and like sit on it. So maybe now that everything has been in the laundry, I'll be able to do that because it's nice and clean. So what I would like to do is just sit down here on the sofa, maybe even bring my laptop down, get some work done, and that could definitely help them get used to me more. It is 9:20 a.m. Good morning, Boo. I just came into the room. We're going to do a room check to see where we stand as far as blood goes. It looks pretty good. I'm not seeing a whole lot of new fresh blood. There's some blood on this towel, but that's from yesterday. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of blood on the floor or anything. So, there's some old blood from yesterday also. So today Boo needs to get his medicine. So the first thing he's going to get is his antibiotic. And I gave him some of the homemade raw food. And I put some Fortiflora on it. And that's how I eventually got him to eat his food last night. What's the matter, Boo? You don't want to eat? You don't want to eat? I put your Fortiflora on it. You love Fortiflora. So Fortiflora is a probiotic for cats. Not like one of the best products, but it also can act as an appetite stimulator. I used to use it with Ditto to get Ditto to eat more food. So that's why I gave it to Boo yesterday. Plus, because it is a probiotic and because Boo is on antibiotics, it's good for him to have it here. This is left over from yesterday. So after he ate all his food and got his medicine, I gave him some extra. Boo, I need you to eat that. What do you want to squeeze up on it? Okay, you want me to put a squeezy on it? Okay, so Boo has been a very, very good patient so far. I don't want to jinx anything, but he's been staying in the room. He has not been trying to get out of the room. I think everyone knows he loves this room. Like, this is his room, so he's really happy to be back in it. It looks like he got some sleep last night because there was not a whole lot of activity on the security camera, and he spent a lot of time on top of the day sofa. Yesterday during the day, he was mostly underneath the day sofa, but then last night he was on top of it, which is a good sign also. So I just have to be really careful every time I walk in and out of this room. I still have a gate in the door, so I am hurdling the gate every time I come and go. But yeah, the goal is just to keep him in the room. I want to keep him in this room until there's 24 hours without any blood. Right, Boo? I mean, he looks good today. His mouth looks good. There's not like a whole lot of blood on his mouth or anything. And it's kind of funny because since I had a tooth extraction yesterday also, I'm kind of going with like where I am with my progress with where he is with his progress. Of course we're different because his kind of started falling out on its own and was very loose, and then mine was like totally yanked out and mine was totally fine otherwise, being broken and cracked. But yeah, so I am in zero pain, and I've been in zero pain ever since I went to the oral surgeon yesterday. They gave me local anesthesia, like Novocaine, whatever it is, and so obviously I could not feel the procedure. And even when that wore off, I had no pain, and I had no pain all of last night, and I have no pain today. Like, my jaw is a little bit sore from, obviously, just the position that it was in, like when they were performing the extraction. But other than that, I have zero pain from this extraction, which to me is kind of mind-boggling. But then Grandma Farrell's like, well, it means you take after everyone else in the family, because it seems like a lot of people in the family have similar situations where they'll have like major surgery. Like Grandma Farrell had like broken wrists, and she's like, yeah, I never had any pain. Of course, I'm following the rules. I'm not eating anything hard or crunchy. I'm just eating soft food. But yeah, I'm really happy with that aspect of it. And then maybe it's the same with Boo. Maybe Boo doesn't have any pain either. But of course we don't know because he can't tell us, but he's acting normal. Like he's not hiding. He's not like moping around. I just need to, you know, get the antibiotic into him. Right, Boo? You look good, Boo. You look good, Boo. Yeah, you're still handsome, Boo. You're still handsome. And now we have a special bond, Boo. We both had our teeth taken out on the same day, right? Me and you. On the same day. Boo's like my spirit animal. Right, Bo? Good? I just gave Boo some squeeze up on his food. It's chicken squeeze up. Boo tends to like the squeeze ups more than the churros, but I'm very happy to have plenty of both in the house. And when the cats are sick, they don't feel good, or when I have to give them medicine, I find that the more exotic churro flavors work better for that. Like the ones with like crab or scallop or different flavors, not the plain like chicken or tuna. Okay, you could eat that. I hope his mouth is feeling okay. It might be harder for him to eat because like the tooth that he's missing is like his front fang, whereas the tooth I'm missing is like a rear wisdom tooth. And I've just totally been eating on the opposite side of my mouth. I don't think cats could really do that. But he also doesn't really have to chew this food. He just has to kind of lick it and swallow it. And yesterday afternoon when I was recovering, I was going back into that cat book and reading what it said about, you know, how bad crunchies are for their teeth and how much better it is to feed them the raw food with the ground up bone. And the ground up bone is supposed to help keep their teeth healthy. I just crushed up some of the freeze-dried chicken and put that on his food. He really, really loves that. So sometimes when trying to get medicine into a cat, it's really just a system of continuously putting toppers on it until they eat everything. And I probably should have put the medicine in like a squeeze up or churro, but he hasn't really had the raw food and I know he likes it, so I thought that's why I was like, let me just put in the raw food, plus it's better for him. So yeah, I'm really thinking I need to double down on the homemade raw food that I've been making for the cats. A, because the cats love it, it's like their favorite food, and B, because it is healthier for them with regards to their teeth because it doesn't have any sticky carbs. The only carbohydrate in it would be like the wheatgrass powder that I put in. And I think I'm even going to stop putting the pumpkin in because the book that I've been reading, you know, and it makes total sense. I'm totally resonating with everything in this book. And it says you don't want to put fiber in a cat's diet because what it does is it makes the transit time through their digestive system shorter. So they're not going to absorb as many vitamins and minerals as they would without the fiber. And that's totally true. So it really, really has me rethinking a lot of the information that's out there with regards to, you know, cat food. So we're halfway through the food. I gave him the rest of the squeeze up and a little bit more of the Fortiflora. So when using a squeeze up as like an appetite stimulant or to encourage them to eat something, don't put the whole squeeze up on. Just put a little bit at a time and just refill it as they eat the food. The same thing with Fortiflora. Don't dump a whole package of Fortiflora on their food. Give them the least amount possible, just a little sprinkling of it. And then if they eat that, then continue with a little bit more. Another thing I should mention is that it's really good to find a vet or an animal hospital that will work with you and not against you and not do things to your cat that you don't give them authority to do. So that's one thing that I like about the vet that Boo's been going to, and also this animal hospital versus the other one is that this one will say exactly what they want to do, and then you're like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Like they ask for parental approval before doing anything or administering anything, whereas the other animal hospital, they would just do stuff and then they would let you know afterward, and I never liked that or approved of it. So Boo's almost done with all the food on his plate, which is good. Once he's done, then everyone could get seconds as far as their breakfast is concerned, because I know Stella, Splash and Simba finished all their raw food. So I'm going to give them some canned food. And then I have to go check on the kittens downstairs and see where they're at, if I need to refill their platters. So giving them all they want to eat as far as like wet food goes, as far as low carb wet food goes, it's been working pretty good. So I'm just going to continue with that. It is 6:15 p.m. and I came in to check on Boo a few minutes ago. He's doing well. He was relaxing comfortably all afternoon, and I gave him some pets, and he was smelling the food that was left over from earlier today. He did not want to finish it. I guess he didn't like it. So I just gave him some of the leftover raw food from breakfast. And I put some Fortiflora on it. And I also put some of the freeze-dried chicken, which I, crush up very fine. So he can eat that. I did not put any medicine in it. If he gets another painkiller, he'll get that later today. I don't even know if he needs the painkiller though, because like I mentioned, I have zero pain. I've not taken one painkiller after my extraction, so I don't know if he needs it. But again, because I don't know, I've been giving it to him just because I think it'll help relax him, because it does have somewhat sedative effects. And also I want to keep him in this room. So if they said he should stop bleeding by like the end of the day yesterday, and it appears to be the case. I've not seen any active bleeding today yet. But I just want to be sure and keep him separated for probably a few more days, mostly because he's really enjoying his alone time in this room. He has not made any attempt to get out. Like, whenever I go in and out of the room, he doesn't even try to leave. So I think that's really good. I think he's just really enjoying his time. I have relaxing harp music on for him. I shut it off so I could film right now. I'm going to put it on once I'm done, and now I have to go and answer the phone. It's 7:24 a.m. and I just brushed all the cats, including Splash, as he was laying in his bed. And look how stunning he looks in his bed. Look how handsome he looks in his bed. His fur matches the color of the fabric. And it makes him look like a tough boy, right, Splash? The plaid makes him look very masculine. Right, Splash? I'm here with Boo. It is 7:37 a.m. I just gave him a little bit of raw food with his antibiotic, and I sprinkled some Fortiflora on it. But I made the mistake of walking in the room with the squeeze up, so he was looking at the squeeze up. He's like, I'm not eating my food until you put a squeeze up on it. So I had to put the squeeze up on it. And now I don't know why he's not eating. Why are you not eating, Boo? You love this food. Okay, I just put more of the squeeze up on it. He might be waiting for the freeze-dried chicken, because that seems to be like crack for cats. Like, they love it and they're like addicted to it. What's the matter, Boo? Your mouth bothering you? What's wrong? You want the chicken? I just crushed up some of the freeze-dried chicken and sprinkled it on his food. I think he might have smelled it because the other cats had it on their breakfast in the living room. So I gave him the Pure Bites freeze-dried chicken versus the Stewart's. And the Stewart's appears to be like softer, if that makes any sense. I mean, they're both freeze-dried chicken, but for some reason, this one appears to be like more rigid. It's weird. So I'll see what he eats, and then I'll go get the Stewart's again. I don't want to hurt his mouth. What's the matter, Boo? You gotta eat your medicine. It's about 11:50 a.m. and I'm here in Boo's room. I opened the window for him. It's probably opened almost a foot, and it's supposed to be a beautiful, warm, sunny day today, so it'll be good for him to get lots of fresh air and sunshine. And I'm going to take away the dirty towel. So Boo has not been bleeding for over 24 hours now. I did not notice any fresh blood yesterday, so I'm going to take away the towels that have some blood on them from the other day. And I'm going to put the runner back on because it was laundered. And I'm also going to take the towels off of the day sofa and put the blankets back on. And yeah, so Boo had his breakfast and he had his medicines. So he had his antibiotic and he also had his painkiller. Another thing I did this morning was I ordered a stool test for Boo, and not a regular one through a vet. This is a microbiome stool test. I want to see what's going on in his gut as far as the bacteria in his digestive system, because that plays a very, very big part in his overall health, in his immune system, and also in his oral health. And if he's dealing with problems with his mouth, like obviously he is because he lost a tooth, healing his microbiome and rebalancing his microbiome can really help with that. So that's why I ordered the test today, and they had a coupon code, but then I paid extra for expedited shipping, because if I can get it in, like, let's say they ship it tomorrow, I get it the next day, and then I could, have Boo's stool isolated while he's still in this room. So that's why I figure if I could keep him in this room a few more days, it'll be really easy for me to just get the stool sample for the test, mail it in, and then, okay, Boo's done in this room. He could be in the rest of the house again. That's why I paid for expedited shipping. The company has an address in California, so hopefully within 2 days I'll have the test. I'll have Boo's stool sample. I'll be able to send it back in, and then it should take a few weeks before we get the results and we could see what his microbiome is looking like. And the reason why I thought about that is because if you've watched some of the previous health-related videos on this channel, I mentioned that in the past I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, which was ulcerative colitis. And I was told by medical doctors that it's incurable, that there's really, nothing you could do diet-wise to heal your body. You just have to deal with a lifetime of medications and possible surgeries. And that didn't sit right with me, so I started digging around and researching and reading everything that I could find. And I came across a book that set forth a diet called the specific carbohydrate diet that basically resets your microbiome. And the book said the reason why you have the issue with your digestive system is because it's imbalanced. All you have to do is bring it back into a healthy balance, and then all of the symptoms of your so-called disease will go away and you'll be healed and cured. So that's what I did, and that's what I did. I followed the diet for several years, and I completely rebalanced my gut microbiome, and I completely healed my body, and I never had to take any more medications for that or anything. I was able to completely heal myself. And one thing that I noticed over the years is whenever I stayed on that diet and I was really strict with it, then when I went to the dentist, I never had any issues. Okay, the camera battery died and it took some time to recharge it. So what I was saying before is that the healthier my microbiome is, like the more it's in balance, then the better my dental visits are. That's one thing that I've noticed, that if I'm not paying attention to my digestive health, then when I go to the dentist, I am more apt to have some kind of cavities than when I'm paying attention to my digestive health. So I'm wondering if there could be a similar connection in cats. So I decided to order a microbiome test for Boo, so we can just see how it looks compared to like an average with regards to healthy cats. Now, the other issue with regards to that is what is considered a healthy cat, because if the vast majority of cats are eating, commercial dry food, they're going to have a vastly different microbiome than a cat that is eating like all raw food. So I really ordered the test more out of curiosity than anything. I'm thinking maybe there could be some helpful information there, but I just want to see what it says. It's 7:38 p.m. All the other cats are eating. I'm just about to bring some food into Boo. Let me show you what he's doing. Hello, Boo. Move in. Move in. You're not coming out. Move in. So this is the first time that he's actually been by the door. Usually he's just waiting for me here in the middle of the room. So it looks like he's feeling better. Earlier today he was having an issue with his left eye, like he couldn't open his eye for a while. And I tried to put some eye drops in. It didn't really work because he jumped away. So then I soaked a paper towel with some of the eye wash and I held it on his eye for a while. And he let me do that. And then he ended up taking a really long, solid nap this afternoon, which I think was good for him because I don't think he's been getting enough sleep. And I think it was the painkiller that he got this morning, because he was fine in the morning. He was fine when I gave him the antibiotics. That was fine. And then I gave him the painkiller, and then all of a sudden he was like not himself. He looked miserable. Like he could hardly open either of his eyes. Like he looked like he was in serious pain. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. I hope he doesn't have an eye infection. And I looked at all the security camera footage and I saw no indication of him hitting the eye, like nothing getting in it. Like I couldn't figure out what it was. So I don't know, maybe he got some dust in it. He was by the open window, so I don't know, maybe something flew in his eye for a while, but it looks to be better. He seems to be back to his normal self right now. So maybe he slept it off, whatever it was. They say that that painkiller, the gabapentin, lasts, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours. So it's definitely been 4 to 6 hours since he had it. So I'm going to leave him alone with his food. So this is some of the 4Health chicken and whitefish cat food that arrived today from Tractor Supply. This is a low-carb cat food, and it's a really good price also. And there are no strange ingredients in it. And, of course, he ate all the freeze-dried chicken off the top, and he's leaving the rest. So okay, so I just topped his food with some more of the chicken. I also added some Fortiflora, and I also added some vitamin C powder, and I did give him like 5 or 6 crunchies. So I went to Whole Foods today to buy some vitamin C powder because I was reading a book about cat food, specifically raw food for cats, and they mention that it's really important to supplement with vitamin C, especially if the cats are under stress. And all the cats have been under stress recently, and we do know that when there is a deficiency of vitamin C, it can have mouth issues. And, scurvy is a common ailment when there's a vitamin C deficiency. And I don't know, maybe that is part of Boo's issue with his mouth. Maybe he has some kind of vitamin C deficiency as an FIV cat. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look into, but I just thought it was really interesting that the book I was reading today pointed it out, that it's really important to make sure the cats are getting enough vitamin C, not just in times of stress, but all the time, because, with today's environment, with the level of pollution and toxins and just overall noise and activity, that a lot of cats are dealing with more stress than we know, and their bodies are not always manufacturing as much vitamin C as would be necessary for them. So it specifically said to get calcium ascorbate. I believe that's what it was. And I went to Whole Foods because they're like the only store open today that might have it, and they had it. So they say to start at a very, very small dose, and then every other day increase the dosage until bowel tolerance, which means until the cat gets loose stools. So I started with not even a teaspoon, maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon, like a really, really tiny amount. And we'll see how he does. The nice thing about him being isolated in this room is that he has his own litter boxes, so I know what he's doing in the litter boxes. So anyway, he's enjoying his meal right now. I'm going to go see what the other cats are up to. I'm here with 33 pounds of chicken and chicken organ meat, and I am making homemade raw food for the cats. I've become a cat food factory. I've been making so much homemade raw food. Good morning, Boo. It is 9:05 a.m. Boo must be feeling better. He's meowing at me. So I just gave him some breakfast. This is leftover from last night. Boo really enjoyed the homemade food that I made last night. I ended up giving him 2 plates of it. He had a very big appetite, so that's good. And he ate it no problem. So this morning he's having some of the homemade raw food. This is from the last batch. It's the last pint from the last batch. And I mixed in some extra vitamin C powder. And I also mixed in his antibiotics. And I put some Fortiflora on top and some of the freeze-dried chicken. And I didn't think he was going to eat it right away. But he is. So now I'm going to go feed the kittens and then I'll come back in here. I still want to brush him and check out the room. I don't see any signs of new blood. I think that's behind us, or at least I'm hoping that's behind us. So he's doing good. There's a whole bunch of freeze-dried chicken on the floor from last night. It got all over the place. So I need to vacuum this room also. I'm hoping Boo only has another day or 2 in this room. Once again, I ordered that stool test yesterday to test his microbiome, and I'm hoping it's here tomorrow. I just need to keep his stool isolated from everyone else's. Also, I continue to do reading about FIV, and I'm looking into the role of vitamin C and vitamin D, and it seems that the majority of cats with FIV do have low vitamin D status. And I've also read a study that says when they're given extra vitamin C, it does have a beneficial effect for them also. So I'm thinking those are 2 things that I want to make sure that his food is supplemented with. And, you know, I'm just going to make sure everyone's food is supplemented with that for general health purposes. Right, Boo? His eye looks good today. He's not squinting or anything. You okay? I'm going to leave. He might go back and finish. If he doesn't, then I'll put some more meal toppers on it. So Boo finished all of his food, and I just gave him some of the raw food from the new batch. This is what he really enjoyed last night, so we'll see if he eats it without needing additional toppers on it. So there is a little bit of Fortiflora on it and a little bit of the freeze-dried chicken. I just want to see how much he eats because it is a different recipe. I was reading a book about food for cats that primarily covered the raw food diet for cats and different ingredients that are necessary. So it does have a different mix of supplements in it. And I'm curious to see how all the other cats will like it. They're going to have it for dinner today. I'm going to put them all back on raw food twice a day. So this morning, I gave the kittens food on separate plates, like how Boo's eating on a small plate. I gave the kittens food on separate plates. They devoured the homemade raw food. And since they ate it so fast, I was like, okay, you want a little bit of a can? So I opened up 2 small cans of like Fancy Feast, the low carb Fancy Feast, and I gave them each 1/8 of a can. So I don't know if they've eaten that yet. I have to go down and check on them. The other cats, Stella, Splash and Simba, devoured their meal, and I gave them part of the 4 Health low carb cat food from Tractor Supply. They didn't like it. There's such a major difference between like a plate of raw food and then a plate of canned food. I mean, it's day and night, so I can see how sometimes they don't like it. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.